So not only did China just kick our ass with the release of the AI technology, DeepSeek, right? But now they've responded to Trump's tariffs. And what have they done? They've reduced the amount of American imports into China by $690 billion. That's right, $690 billion. And now they're just simply sourcing those imports from other countries, most notably BRICS countries. You might want to look that up if you don't know what it is, right? Like, this is not going to end well, man. He's thrown 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico, and is constantly on the news saying, we don't need anything from them. We don't need anything from them. Really? Do you have any idea the amount of stuff we get from Canada, the amount of stuff we get from Mexico, the amount of stuff we get from China, and how long it would take us to establish production warehouses in the United States to get that same stuff? Do you have any idea of that? No, you don't, because you're stupid. Dude, these countries are going to decimate America under Trump. So you can keep calling him daddy all you want. If that makes you feel good, Daddy Trump, right? But he's going to continue to ruin America, and he's going to do it with your permission because you're stupid.
So I know everybody's heard about the American Airlines Flight 5342 crash, but I wanted to add another wrinkle to this story because I was doing some research in just the aftermath, trying to understand, as someone who knows nothing about aviation, how this happens in 2025. Learned that the last commercial flight to crash in the US was back in 2009. Obviously, I've learned in the aftermath from a lot of creators here that Donald Trump helped gut the FAA in the immediacy after his inauguration. And on January 20th, Elon himself forced the resignation of the head of the FAA. And a lot of people are pointing to that as part of that, which I agree. Having less aviation officials seems like a bad idea for airline safety. And then Donald Trump gave his crazy conference, right, where he blamed DEI and even signed an order that says it was DEI and Joe Biden and Pete Buttigieg that caused this plane to go down. And then I discovered this tweet from Elon. Look at the date. Plane crash. That's what it'll take for them to end DEI policies.
This is to the 2 million federal employees Trump wants to see either bow down or disappear. He doesn't have the authority to fire you. He doesn't have the authority to buy you out, and he does not have the authority to command your loyalty, because those are not powers given to the president. So he's asking you to do it for him. Because just like on the spending freeze, he's poking around for easy wins because difficult wins require him to do his actual job. And that's something he just can't do because he doesn't understand his own job, just like he doesn't understand you, what you do, who you work for, or why you show up for work. He doesn't understand the selflessness required to be a civil servant, and he doesn't understand serving a cause greater than himself. He doesn't understand the dams you operate, the power grids you inspect, or the foods you help keep safe. He doesn't understand the beauty that national parks protect, and he doesn't understand the communities and the people you serve. He doesn't understand what you do for this country, and he can't understand why you do it. Because at his most fundamental level, Trump is a broken, failed man full of resentment. He pities himself for being born without the gene required to feel empathy or understand sacrifice. How a person could work without ego, lavish privilege, recognition, or praise. So he's lashing out like a cornered dog bound by the chains of checks and balances. You should not let him fool you because he does not understand his own limitations, and he won't understand it when you tell him he doesn't deserve your resignation and he doesn't deserve your loyalty, but you'll work through him and past him all the same.
President Trump did not betray you. You betrayed yourself. You lied to yourself to justify your decision to vote for a madman. And you didn't care about the things he said he would do because you figured that would only hurt other people. But now that it's hurting you, you see the problem with it. But you was perfectly fine with him hurting other people. Anyway, it makes sense that they would want to erase Black and Native American history because we're a constant stain on them, aren't we? A constant reminder that nothing they got here was earned. Everything they got was off the backs of others. Not only did they occupy the land that belonged to someone else, they didn't even do the work to build this. And that's why they want to erase us. But you can never erase our history. Our history is global, baby. It goes beyond these states. And we will prevail as always. But those of you who voted for this shit and it backfired, I keep telling you, you reap what you sow. And what you wish for others is going to come right back on your ass. around, find out. Enjoy.
Oh my God, there was a plane crash in Washington, D.C. 67 people involved. That's terrible. That's awful. I couldn't imagine how the families of the victims are feeling right now. The pilots were gay. They had brain damage. Obama. Maybe Biden was involved.
Man, thank God Trump's in office so we can finally get rid of all these ridiculous, wasteful DEI programs that are honestly really unfair. Oh yeah, brother. I'm pumped about it. Let's cut that. Go Trump. Yeah, wait, what? I'm pumped about all the DEI going away. I mean, DEI has been messing with our voting system for like just under 250 years, so I'm absolutely thrilled to see it go away. Our voting system, what are you talking about? Where did I lose you? There's no DEI in the voting system. Yeah, man, the Electoral College. The Electoral College, like, it's pure DEI for red states. Oh, you're just doing that thing that you stupid little baby little lefties do. It's the Electoral College is not DEI. Okay, but how is it not? The Electoral College is what makes it fair. Why should Idaho have to go along with everything that like New York wants? All right, so you're saying you want to take a historically underrepresented population that otherwise would get totally lost in the shuffle and really never be represented at all, and give their inclusion a little bit more weight so we can make sure that they're represented? Exactly. But that's not DEI. Why is it not DEI? Because DEI is... I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Oh, so you're okay with them doing it, but not when he does it? Only because they didn't do it? Yes they did. Have you seen the video clips those still images are from? No? Shall we watch them? No thanks. Oh look, he's waving. And she's pointing. Never crossed her body with her arm. Oh look, she's waving. Okay, but the Tim Waltz clip, you can't deny that. Yeah, I'll play this game. Let's first take a look at how the salute is done. Why? So we're on the same page. It's performed by extending the right arm from the shoulder into the air with a straightened hand. Yeah, exactly what Tim did. Let's watch the clip. So he taps his heart twice, and then his arm does cross his body, but his hand is bent, his palm facing the audience, and his fingers are sprawled out in a wave. Wow, so he didn't do it just because you like him more? I am not a politician apologist. I do not idolize any of them. I am just a person with eyes who can clearly see the difference here. All I'm hearing is you excusing them for doing it while you cancel him for doing it. And all I'm hearing is you admitting that he did it. No, I'm not. You just said that I'm canceling him for doing it while excusing others, which implies that you know that he did it. No, that's not. He was just throwing his heart out there. No, this is him throwing his heart out there. This is something entirely different, and you know it.
I hope that every single one of you who voted for that man and celebrated his win learn your lesson the hard way. I hope that in the next 4 years, you wake the hell up. I hope you realize that he doesn't care about you, he never cared about you, and he will never care about you. And I hope for once in your life, instead of worrying about yourself and your self-interests, you learn to care about others and the impact that this is going to have on everybody, which will inevitably have an impact on you.
Like, I was all for fucking Trump, dude. I was all for Trump. And then hearing this whole fucking thing of like, so yes, I have my kid's dad on child support, okay? I get $200 a month for both of them, okay? What is $200 going to do in California? Nothing, but it is what it is. I don't care. It's something. It's like something for me to take the boys out and do something fun since I can't do it on my own. Now with Trump passing the law that if your kid's on if you put your baby dad on child support, they're going to be getting the money from the child, like for child tax. How the does that work? How does that work, dude? I'm literally the one that takes care of them 24/7, have for the past 10 years. How can he file and get all the fucking money when I'm the one taking care of them? He's been MIA for like 7 months. What?
Next time you hear someone say they agree with Donald Trump rolling back all DEI efforts, ask them what it stands for. Say, what does DEI stand for? I had this exact conversation just a few days ago with someone, and they were going on and on about how much they hate DEI and how, someone in their industry, a woman, has a much higher up position than this particular person did, and it was a DEI hire and all this other stuff. I said, what does DEI stand for? I don't know. You don't know what DEI stands for, but you're about it? DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Inclusion. Oh my God. Horrible. Horrible inclusion. A little inclusion. Horrible. What we teach our fucking kids. Horrible stuff. Horrible stuff, all you God-loving people. God forbid we teach inclusion. But seriously, though, say, what does it mean? What does it stand for? Because they don't even fucking know. And you know what it stands for? It stands for white, Christian, straight men being terrified that people are more qualified than them, and they're actually going to have to work harder to now get the jobs. They're going to have to work harder to prove that they deserve the job. You know what this person who was complaining about this woman being a DEI hire missed the entire point? She's way more qualified. Way more qualified. That's why she got the job. Not because she's a woman, because she's way more qualified than you small fucking white man. That's why. That's why, you dumbasses. Guys, just do a Google. Just learn what DEI stands for before we start complaining about it. And then also just try harder. Work harder. White men don't deserve everything. White, straight, Christian men don't just deserve everything. They don't.
The real F around and find out moment is here. A lot of people are looking at the Black community thinking that we are the recipients and benefactors of DEI programs and affirmative action programs. And I know affirmative action is no longer, but whenever they hear the term DEI or they hear the term affirmative action, they look to the Black community thinking that we are the benefactor. Now, here's some information for you. The number one recipient of DEI are white women. That is according to the U.S. Department of Labor. And others fall under that group, under the minority group, the ethnic minority. Number one recipient under that group are Latino and Hispanic Americans. Number two are Asian Americans. Number three are Native Americans. Number four, individuals with disability. Number five, veterans. Okay? And number six, the LGBTQ plus community. And guess who comes last at receiving DEI benefits? Guess who comes last? That's right. Black Americans. Black people. Let me also say, you can do a Google search and you will see the primary benefactors of DEI programs are not only white women, but white men, white male CEOs. Those are the ones who have benefited the most from DEI initiative program.
The one thing I hate about me is when I get really mad, I cry. It defeats the whole purpose. This morning we woke up, and because the first falls on a weekend, they deposited my son's Social Security early. My son was disabled at the age of 15. He barely, when he first started getting Social Security, got about $875 a month. And I thought, what happens if I die? How is he going to survive? When his father passed away, we were blessed with him getting survivor benefits. And that fucker Donald Trump just took him away. He took it away. And they're attacking the most vulnerable people. I'm so mad that I have to go to work for my Trump thumping boss. And I'm not going to be able to hold my anger in. I know I'm not. I'm going to lose it. And I'll probably end up losing my job because I cannot keep this anger in. I put a message out on Facebook. I said, if you voted for him, don't you contact me ever again. You're to me. And that's my family. That's cousins, nieces, relatives. I don't want nothing to do with you. We warned you, and you laughed. I wish them all the most disastrous life right now. I hope they take everything from you. I'm livid. We'll call Social Security on Monday. I don't think you can call them on the weekends. It still says in his Social Security online that he's supposed to be getting his full benefits from his father, survivor benefits. But that's not what they deposited. And that's a direct link to Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Their department of whatever. But let me tell you, Elon Musk and Donald Trump, you're f***ing with mama bears now. And I will do everything until my last dying breath to make sure you are exposed for the trash you are. Make no mistake. You have pissed off many Americans. You have no idea the strength of a mother with a disabled child. The determination and the rage. We've had to struggle and fight for everything our children have. I wish karma upon you, so brutal and vile, that you lose everything. Mark my words, it's going to happen.
I'm so surprised how many people didn't know that with the DEI rollbacks, that meant that like there would also be rollbacks for specifically women. I don't know what y'all thought. What, you thought, first of all, you thought these men respected us? What, just because you're like a white woman? And I get, like, I'm a white woman, right? But like most political progress for women has come at the hands of women of color. Not to say that there haven't been prominent white women, but like when they're talking about like diversity in the workforce, they're talking about you. And now they're talking about like getting rid of things like Black History Month and Women's History Month. And all the white women are suddenly like, what? This applies to us? I don't know if you know this, but they view you as someone they can oppress. It's like, I don't know why we're surprised. This also means that, like, it opens the door for them to allow for things like for you to be fired if you're pregnant, for them to take away more things like maternity leave and stuff like that. Y'all need to stop associating DEI with just Black people or other people of color.
If you're MAGA, you're just gonna need to move on. I'm telling you, you are just too slow to understand what I'm about to say. But here it goes. DeepSeek. Oh my gosh, when that happened today, that was so finger-licking good to see Donald J. Trump exposed on the world stage for who he really is, as a grifter, as a con man. And China just said, oh yeah? Oh yeah, you're going to spend $500 billion on OpenAI? Well, look at this. We spent $5 million on this, and we've had it out for a year. And it's way better than ChatGPT because we're going to shut it down right now. $500 billion. You know what that proves? That Silicon Valley is full of crap when it comes to funding. They needed $500 billion to do something that China did with $5 million. Now let me ask you, what do you think they're going to do with the rest of that money? Where does the rest of that money go? So for all of you MAGA experts, which I know you're not here because you don't understand this, who think, hey, Doge saved us so much money today, billions of dollars. And then you find out they're putting $500 billion into OpenAI when somebody else on the planet did it a year ago for $5 million. It seems to me that might be a little big margin there, don't you think? Or, hey, Bob, what do we need to cover costs for the month? Oh, we need about $30,000. Okay, great. I'll go to the government. Yeah, can we get $300 million?
So to those who think being a DEI hire means that the person is unqualified, let me tell y'all a story. So one time I actually got a promotion because I was a black dude. And of course they don't never tell you this, but I'm not an idiot and I figured it out. So they called me in the office, they gave me the promotion or whatever. I was happy, called my family, told people, that kind of thing. And then like a couple of days later, the EEOC, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, they came into this business interviewing people. And they pulled me aside and they asked me one question. They asked me what my position was at the company. I told them I was a this, but now I just got promoted to a this. And when I told them that, they packed up their stuff and they left. Now at this company, there was probably about 80 people that worked there. And of the 80 people that worked there, there were 2 people with a college degree. There was one of my bosses, who actually is a close friend to this day, and me. So I was given this promotion, and the part of the job that I was in control of became extremely efficient. So efficient, in fact, that my team ended up getting raises after like a couple of months. Because of the policies that I implemented, labor cost was way, way down. The cost of products being destroyed was way, way down. It also was way cleaner than what it was before. But to this day, I am convinced the only reason I was given that promotion is because they knew the EEOC was coming and they had to do something. Now, at the time, I didn't know that, but after digging into it a little bit, I figured it out. But y'all think that being DEI means you're not qualified. It means there is a better person for the job, but they only gave it to you because you're a black guy or whatever group that you're in. What you're not understanding is sometimes you should get that opportunity, but they don't because you are in one of those groups. And DEI means they're not allowed to discriminate because you're in one of those groups. When I got my promotion, that's something I should have got way, way sooner. And there was not a better person for that job than me. Y'all get this vision in your head that companies are hiring somebody way, 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 way worse because they fit in one of these minority groups. And what it actually means is now these companies can't throw away an application because the lady's name is Shaniqua or the guy's name is Jose. These minorities are not underachieving and suddenly they're getting all these achievements and bonuses, raises and stuff. It simply doesn't work that way. In general, there aren't minorities out there that feel like they're deserving of things they have not worked for or earned. So please don't be brainwashed by the idea that DEI means not as qualified. Because all it means is you can't ignore me because I'm not the color as most of the people in the country.